Okay. Hey, everybody. Looks like the stream is up. My name is Bahzad.
My name is Risa.
And we are here from Naked and Famous Denim, and we are broadcasting to you live from the international headquarters of Naked and Famous Denim here in Yokohama, Japan. We're going to answer all of your raw denim-related questions, life questions, love questions, any kind of questions you might have that we can answer. You know you came to the right place. Welcome, everybody. It is... What day is it today? It is Saturday, April 27th here in Japan. Probably, my guesstimation is that it is Friday evening, April 26th for many of you. How's it going?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm doing great.
Good.
It's a little early in the morning. My brain is not working so well.
We're just waking up.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this coffee will help.
All right. This coffee will help, and it is sponsored by the good people at the Naked Famous Denim Corporation, where you too can get one of these finely made in Japan milk glass mugs adorning some of our iconic logos, like the Tragic Blonde, and we don't have a name for this logo.
Shirt Lady.
Shirt Lady. The Shirt Lady logo, available in the milk glass, but we also have that one available in jadeite as well. Jadeite green glass. Or is that sold out?
I think that's sold out again.
Perhaps it's sold out again. But anyhow, mugs available on tateandyoko.com. They can.
It's ironic that Shirt Lady does not have any shirt.
It's true. That said, these mugs can be used to hold coffee, tea, or any other hot or cold beverage.
Yes.
So if you enjoy beverages, you should.
It contains 9.5 fluid ounce.
Right.
280 milliliters.
It's a pretty big mug. So here's to that. And if you already have one of these and you're drinking out of one right now, double props to you. Highly recommended. BD in the house. Hello. Hope you're taking it easy. MIJ 10s and 701 GSM on Wonder Looper on tonight. Well, that sounds like a cozy combination. Topher Cobra, happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday to you. Invis Ian's DC is in the house. DC is indeed in the house when we see you here, Invis Ian. Arif, good to see you, my friend. Hello from Chicago, the Windy City. Elephant 12s going strong. 114 wears. 0 washes. Bless you. It may be another sneezy day. I know last week we had Garrett on the show.
Yes.
Garretto.
Yeah. Sneezing all over the place.
It's the mixture of allergies, and it's the cat season right now. They're shedding a lot more.
Yes.
So they're getting rid of their winter coats.
I can't believe that's only a week ago.
Just a week ago. Yeah, time flies.
Yeah.
And Garrett flew.
He did fly.
Right back to Canada land, where you may have seen him and the boys on This Week at Tate and Yoko get absolutely wrecked by some spicy Japanese chips. I was editing the video and I just couldn't stop laughing while I was editing it. I'm like, there were points where you could just hear Vinny in the background being like, because the heat was getting to him.
Yeah. It's like a slow burner.
Yeah. Do we have that pack?
Yes.
We will try it today. I think we're going to try it today also, just to see.
But we do it at the end of the show.
Yeah,
so
we're going to do it.
Yeah.
True. We'll give you a few minutes, though. We have those. So if you want to see us also take the spicy chip challenge, which our friends at Tate and Yoko bravely handled, we will do it today as well, in solidarity, and to see just how tough we are as well. The Black Buddha writes, Risa, that shirt is dope. Hey, everyone, coming in from New York City and rocking the Emperor of Slubs.
Nice.
Well, thank you very much. We're matching, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
These
shirts are online, right?
Yes.
I think.
These are all online.
Yeah. It's a great shirt. It's the fabric.
It's really nice. It is if you hold it up to the sun, so you can see, it's kind of see-through, but on the body, it's not really see-through. I mean, you're going to wear something underneath it anyways, but it's just a very, very comfortable shirt. And here, let me do a little fit check for y'all today. I got the Aloha shirt on. I got my white double heavyweight t-shirt from Wonderlooper and my Easy Guy solid black Selvedge. I've been wearing these lately. I don't know why. My dirty fades, we put them in the wash the other day. I just haven't bothered to stretch them back out yet. But these have been my daily driver for a little while, and I think I look pretty. Sharp.
Yeah,
here
looks great with this shirt.
Great summery feel to this.
I'm still wearing that strong guy.
Looks great.
Yeah, it just looks great, and it's nice because it's not pretty stretched jeans, but it's being pretty stretched by Bahzad.
That's it.
It's great.
Real fades.
Real fades.
Yeah, real fades. Does that count as cheating? No.
I don't care.
No, doesn't. I'm the judge. Doesn't count. Fading Glory Guy Denim and Fashion writes, first wash on my pagodas this week. They got really interesting really quickly, taking in a great texture and softness. Nice. Well, if you have any cool photos, be sure to post them on Instagram and tag us. We'll share those with the community. Arif writes, amazing camp collar shirts, guys. Well, thank you very much. Invis Ian's Bosu coffee in those cups. Not Bosu coffee, homemade coffee. We make our coffee at home. Those Boss coffees and stuff, if you guys don't know, there's a lot of canned coffee here in the land of the rising sun. Canned coffee is everywhere. Boss coffee, BOSS, is probably one of the most famous and popular options here. 1 million flavors.
Used to have
Tommy Lee Jones
on the commercial for years and years. I think for decades, actually.
Yeah. Very funny commercials, usually.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't partake in the, unless I'm out. Usually if I'm out and about and you just need something quick. But there's so many options for quick, inexpensive coffee here. Like every convenience store, you can get a fresh ground coffee, iced coffee in seconds.
Those convenience store coffees are lifesavers. They also, it's a machine that grinds coffee beans right when you press the button. So it's freshly ground. It's usually really good. It depends on the chain. Like my favorite is 7-Eleven.
Right.
They all taste different, but
and they're always like $1.50.
It's
they're very inexpensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I like my coffee with milk, but without any sugar. And I find the cans to have either like black or with milk with sugar.
Yeah. Sometimes it's too sweet with the sugar ones. Yeah.
So I don't really like that.
I think there was I like my coffee like I like my women joke in there somewhere.
Milky, but not sweet.
Yes. Hit the like button if you think that's what I was going to say.
What? Am I not sweet?
You are delicious. Delicious is the word I would use to describe you. We got Salivage Jardin. I probably screwed that up. But you are chilling in your MIJ 12 tuxedo.
Nice.
MIJ 12?
No.
No, not the 12.
Maybe 13?
Unless somehow you snuck into our warehouse. Maybe you did. Topher Cobra, any coffee recommendations?
We get our coffee from our neighbor.
Yeah, what's our blend or roast?
It's a Guatemala beans. I think they call it sun-dry.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but it's a good beans.
Yeah, we like them. They have a variety of coffee beans. Everything's green, and they roast them when you order it. So if you want like 200 grams, 400 grams, whatever, you go in, you ask for what you want, and the darkness of the roast.
Yeah. And
you come back in 20, 30 minutes, and they're ready for you. Yeah. So everything is fresh roasted. And we usually get a couple of bags of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything we do is pretty fresh with our coffee. But yeah, sometimes if we're in a bind, whatever they have at the store. But 90% of the time we're getting it from our local coffee roaster.
Another one that we like is mocha irikachafi.
Yes.
That's what I call it. Irikachafi.
Okay.
I don't know what to say in English, but yeah, those two are good.
There you go. If you have any coffee recommendations out there, you let us know as well. I'm sure there's a lot of coffee fans out in the audience here.
The thing is, we don't have the same access to the coffee beans as most of you guys. So
being in America, you have access to everything, and everybody ships across America. But shipping coffee internationally, that's not the most economical thing. But I do like it, like when we go to the States, if we go somewhere, usually we'll pick up a bag or something. Like when we were in Hawaii, we brought back a bunch of coffee as well.
Right.
Yeah. Slether writes, "Hi from California, rocking my Pagoda True Guys today."
Oh,
fantastic. And Pagoda twins in the house. Sam Wang writes, "When will you restock the Wonder Looper white shirts?"
The double heavyweights are coming in, I think, maybe sometime in next month, maybe later next month in a little bit, and then the big restock comes in maybe like July.
There you go. Mike in WPB writes, West Palm Beach, I'm assuming. Hello from the land of no heavyweight, South Florida. Hey, welcome. You can. It's just probably a little bit of a struggle. You will get those sweaty fades.
Yeah. I mean, people in like
Southeast
Indonesia,
Asia.
Thailand can rock those heavyweights. Then so can you.
Right. Devin Hurt, currently wearing my Ocean's Edge, and was comparing the fabric with the Summer Sky. The Summer Sky is lighter ounce, but isn't flowy as the Ocean's Edge. There you go. That Ocean's Edge fabric is very beautiful. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you noticed just how hairy that denim is. And speaking of hairy denim, next Friday, I might as well jump into it right now. We've got the Craftsman Selvedge coming out, and I was taking some photos, just some nice macro shots of this fabric. And, looking at it, you don't notice, maybe there's a bit of a fuzz, but when you put the macro lens on here, you really see how fuzzy this denim is. I mean, there's like a mist over it. You might see it. I mean, you're definitely not going to pick it up on this camera. You can see it a little bit, but also quite a nice hairy denim. I've been into hairy denims lately, and like we were doing those production meetings like a week and a bit ago, and all the fabrics we were ordering, I'm like, can we do this? No singeing? No singeing? Don't singe this. Leave that beautiful little fuzz on there. I think it really adds to the look of the denim, and I hope you guys appreciate it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I guess because you don't generally see a lot of hairy denim out in the world, so I like seeing things that I don't often see. Speaking of...
I mean, like the raw denim especially is usually, it's either like super bumpy and hairy, which is unsanforized, or really clean and flat, which is sanforized. And no singeing option is like best of both worlds, basically. I mean, it'll still be like, pre-shrunk, like compressed, so it's gonna be definitely flatter, but because it doesn't burn off the hairs of the surface, it does keep a little bit of that crazy nice texture.
Yeah, that's it. And speaking, I was going to say the other things that I like. So I like rare, in not just like fabric form, but I also like weird selvage IDs. And like this one on the Craftsman, you can see it has this double line over here. And no line on this side. I like how, interesting that is, because this isn't something that we came up with. The mill came up with this pattern, and for sure this was something that...
It's like a repro.
Yeah,
a certain fabric.
Right. They found a fabric somewhere, maybe an old jacket, an old pair of overalls, and this was the ID for whichever company was ordering this fabric back in the day, So they weren't all like just red or color or whatever. Sometimes they used, patterns, and this, indicates that. So this is something you generally don't see very often. We kept it in there because I thought it was pretty unique and special. So
it's also very subtle, like sometimes you have different colors on each side of the selvage, and it's just cool.
Yeah.
But also, like, this is just not so noticeable right away. But if you look at it, it's different on each side, and I think that's cool.
Pretty cool. So the Craftsman selvage coming out next Friday, May the 3rd. It's going to be available in the jeans, and we have a zip chore coat as well that's coming. So,
and we got women's coming.
Right, women's overall.
Women's overall too. So, Craftsman selvage, classic and overalls.
Hold on, I got the jacket over here.
The jacket, we had this jacket in another form before, right? We have left hand 12 in this?
There's a left hand 12 zip chore coat.
Yeah.
And now there's this. So this is the newest option here, and very beautifully constructed, all triple stitched. It has a similar construction to our chore coats, but in this workman style shorter jacket.
Yeah. And
just a great spring jacket, side pockets here. I think it's really, really fantastic.
Especially in this fabric.
Yeah.
It's just, perfect with the white stitching,
old school workwear, and it's gonna fade. So I'm probably gonna actually throw this one in the wash in the next couple days because I want it to be a little bit softer. But yeah, this is just I should stitch a name in here, perhaps my own, or Tommy. Yeah,
that's a good.
It's a good
classic name.
Classic.
What would be a good classic?
Just John. John.
But John's still what's the word that we don't...
Hank. Hank would be a good one. What's a classic American I work name? Work with my hands.
I don't know.
Yeah, Hank. Ed.
Ronald.
I like Hank. Hank Hill. I sell propane and propane accessories. I should put Strickland propane on here. There you go. So Bert Reynolds. Yeah. Just Ralph. Ronald Swanson. You got it. That is a great name.
That's why my head was, I think.
Racer Guy 008 writes, what's the Japanese equivalent of John?
Ooh, there's no such thing as John. John is a extreme example. I guess Muhammad is a good equivalent in another
in the
culture.
Middle East, for sure.
But I don't think we have that as a country.
You don't have a very common guy's name, Ryu?
We have common guys' names.
Yeah.
But not dominant one like John or Michael. The amount of Johns and Michaels in
the West,
it's incredible.
Right.
It's just to me, it's ridiculous amount, to be honest. It's everybody I don't know. We have I guess it also depends with the time. It's not a timeless name like John and Michael. It's some years it's Yusuke or I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Risa doesn't know the answer to this question, which is fine.
I don't think there is one though.
All right. Maybe it'll come to you.
There isn't one. If there was one, I would know.
Okay. Well, there you go. The Pacific writes Mac. Yeah, Mac.
That's a good one.
Right. Stephen Kobelkamp, how does NEP occur? Is it just slubby weft?
So slubs and NEPs are two different things. Although, the origin of those is both the imperfection of yarns that, was normal back in the days. Slub is just because the spinning was, spinning machine wasn't like super like stable like today. It's not computerized. It was just machine. So there will be a natural point where it's a little bit more spun, like faster, and then slower, so that it would have like a, just...
Yeah. That said, back in the day, the slub yarns weren't as extreme as they are today.
No.
Slub variation was minuscule.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's just like slub thing came back in our lives just as in the process to imitate those imperfections, but people really enjoy that, like the texture that comes from the slub yarns, so they went slubbier, especially like brands like us, like really like
want to emphasize that texture.
Yeah, so we pushed and got way more slub yarns.
Yeah. So slub yarns, when you're doing spinning these days, it's all computerized, so it's controlled. So they're spinning the yarn, they spin it fast, they spin it slow, and it's all done by computer. But back in the day, like Risa said, they didn't have the control over the machines the way that they do now. So any imperfections were just a matter of, the imperfection that was natural to the machine. Now, NEP is a similar thing where it's like little like nubs or knots in the yarn that occur. So back in the day, you would get a neppy denim because the yarn wasn't, spun or produced perfectly, and those were all just like minor imperfections in the fabric. But nowadays, all of that is controllable. So if you want a neppy denim, you can create it by creating an imperfect yarn, which is perfectly made. But yeah, that's how both of those things occur. These days, it's very intentional, and it's there to imitate the imperfections of older denim production. Pedro writes, I saw some Rhino Selvedge, Rhino Selvedge on eBay the other day. Do either of you remember the details of that jean or when it would have come out? Thanks. I do not I don't think that's our jean.
Yeah.
Rhino Selvedge.
We've never made Rhino Selvedge.
Republicans in name only. I think that's what the conservatives, they call fake conservatives rhinos.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not a real conservative. But no, that has nothing to do with us. But Rhino Selvedge, because the word imitation, sometimes other companies might imitate our naming style. So it's possible that, somebody liked the term elephant and thought, hey, rhino, let's make a rhino jean. Or I'm just forgetting it completely and I'm making an ass out of myself.
Oh, thanks,
but Snowy's knocking things on the ground.
Just wants attention.
Yeah. But I don't remember. I don't think that's something that we ever made.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right.
Be aware of fakes on eBay.
Imitations are out there. But fake Naked and Famous, like with our name and everything, I've seen a couple here and there, but they all come from like Thailand or Malaysia or something. I've seen in our history, early Naked and Famous Denim days, I think the first fakes we ever saw were in Korea, and they put our logo, our leather patch, on these jeans that were like distressed and painted on and just god awful. And I'm like, this isn't confusing anybody.
Yeah, like people who are aware of a brand.
Yeah.
Is not gonna be full. It's not like we're so popular that like everybody knows. It's not like we're Diesel. Right.
So that was a weird one. And then in Thailand, I remember seeing a few. There was like this market where everything was fake, and they had a couple of they looked raw, but I mean the denim was raw, but and the detail everything was wrong. And then the leather patch was, our logo, but it was terrible. The implementation of it was very bad. It was very obvious. And then one time somebody sent me some pictures of, I think it was Indonesia. Somebody had made some fake MIJs. And
Really?
yeah, they had like the maple leaf embroidery, and like the pocket shape was like terrible, and the way they stamped the leather patch was bad. They even tried to like fake our size tags and stuff, and it was like basically it looked like somebody had taken a picture of one of our size tags and printed it out, and it was so terrible. And I'm like, nobody is falling for this. There's nobody falling for this.
Yeah.
But like I would say that in general, like, you don't have to worry. Every now and then somebody sends me like, wants me to do a legit check for them because they're buying some jeans on eBay or on Grailed or whatever. I don't do legit checks. Just it's not. Dude, I'm not your legit checker. I'm just not.
But the thing is, like, sometimes, like, our jeans that were made for sampling or something like that can get out, and, sometimes we sell those. So, like, just because it's missing a tag or, like, it has a different name than, what production came out to be, like, doesn't necessarily mean it's fake.
Yeah, right.
So,
like, you would know because, like, our hardware is pretty...
Right.
Like, they're not going to fake this.
Yeah.
That's
true. They would not go that far.
They won't. They just won't go that far. So, and even if they did, it would look bad. It would be bad. So, it's pretty obvious if you ever very, very randomly come across like a fake pair of our jeans. You probably won't. But I don't think there's any legit checkers in the audience. But if there are, definitely not legit checking for you. If you want legit, tateandyoko.com. They're all legit there. If you're buying on Grailed or eBay or whatever, that's your risk that you're taking. But I can say confidently that 99.9999% of secondhand Naked and Famous jeans are going to be legit. So you don't need to ask. And if you need to ask, it's kind of like the people who ask me if things are sanforized.
Right.
If it's just generally, if you're asking me if something's sanforized, it's such a I don't know what I'm doing question, which is fair. Some people don't know what they're doing, but it's such a
like if you don't know that much, then why do you care?
Right. It's just a weird thing. Yeah. It is a very it is a red flag, green flag, one of the flags that you're a noob. And which is fine. Like, I don't want to disparage the noobs, but sometimes people ask these weird questions because I guess they're learning, but it is, are these sanforized? How much are these going to shrink? I'm like, they're all sanforized. You should know that much, Yeah.
Yeah. And
I guess they're going to learn through our interactions, but yeah, it is one that always comes up.
Yeah, and you don't ask that to Gap, right?
Right.
Like, so that's the weird part to me. It's like you don't you're only asking us because is it because like we're like in the community with like people who are into things. Like, I mean, if you consider other like major brands, like they do have a lot, like maybe not to our degree, but they do have a lot going into like, fabric development and all of that stuff. They just don't talk about it. And I feel like by us talking in detail about it, that it probably makes people who are not really into this yet to be like really confused and maybe a little nervous about purchasing our stuff sometimes. But
sometimes I feel it's that I have a little bit of knowledge, and a little bit of knowledge, not that in this case it's dangerous, but sometimes people, this is a completely different person I'm talking about now, but sometimes a little bit of knowledge creates this individual that is how can I say it nicely? You guys know what I'm thinking, but they're kind of pushy, Hey, the jeans aren't supposed to do that, and I'm like, oh, I have 2 pairs of your jeans, and none of these have ever done that before, and so therefore, you're trying to screw me.
Right.
And
again, now you're talking about different people.
This is a different person,
like,
but
people asking whether it's some price.
Yeah, but this is just meandering from like that little bit of knowledge sometimes, and and usually we'll give somebody like a perfectly valid response, like no, different fabrics react differently, and some will work like this and some will work like that. No. I have 2 pairs. I've been doing this for about 18 months. I'm the expert now, and you're wrong, and you're just trying to screw me over. Sometimes I find that to be like a very weird interaction. And sometimes it is that I've just got that little tiny bit of understanding, and it goes to someone's head in a way, and
perhaps and it's like it might be legitimate if you're talking to like just like a person who, like, for instance, like, I mean, most of our retail partners are very knowledgeable, and they do care, and they do have like, they do want to learn, but like some of them sometimes it's just like, oh, Naked and Famous seems to be popular, I'm just gonna carry it, and sometimes like if you interact with that person just selling the jeans, not rather like than understanding it and trying to like explain it to you, then like you might know more than that person that you're buying from, perhaps, but you're coming to the source. Like, this brand exists because of our knowledge and understanding of denim, so it's just a weird thing to challenge that.
Right. So yeah, anyhow, I would say that if you are, look, not everyone knows what they're talking about, and it takes time to learn. It's okay to ask questions. I mean, this is what this platform right here is for, especially. I would just say that keep the pushiness down if you want to get somewhere with us. That's usually my thing. Yeah. The second threats start going around, again, this week has been a weird. I'm not gonna name names, and I'm because I don't know. Anyways, but I'm just gonna say that this week's been a weird one for like weird customer interactions, and there's just something that's been in the water lately.
I think
I'm gonna go with one where totally a weird one, but it was like. It has nothing to do with like denim knowledge or anything, but it was like we shipped something to a customer, and then the customer plainly returned we have a return process. You go to the website, you make a ticket, and then that way we can keep track of the returns. You have a return authorization number. All that makes sense, right? That's pretty normal stuff. Person just returned the items, shipped it back, and then hit us with the chargeback before the And so we get the chargeback notification. We're like, what's going on? They're like, oh, I sent the things back. And we're like, when and where? And like, do you have a tracking number? No. We're like, okay, well, you have to understand that we have a process, and we have to like keep track of these things, and especially to know when your items arrive back to us so that we can refund you. But because you've already opened a chargeback on us, we can't refund you. Because the money is already taken away. When a chargeback happens, the bank basically just takes the money out and holds it, and it's like, okay, we're gonna decide, and it's just like, what's going on here? Anyhow, that one irked me a little bit this week. It was just
people do abuse chargebacks way more.
Yeah.
But it's yeah. I feel like people take it as just like a solution for any
customer service
issues. Like that is the ultimate. That is the ultimate ticket that you do hold, and good for you to have that option. I think it's, as a consumer, like, it's nice to have that option. But in order for you to use that, like, you have to be sure that you're absolutely screwed by the person that you bought it from. Like, otherwise you can't just willy-nilly.
It's like, I don't like your return customer service policy, so forget it.
It's like, that's literally stealing.
Yeah. Anyhow, not any of you people. You people are all very, very good people, and we love you. So thank you for treating us with respect. We appreciate that. Daniel Garrison writes, there's a big difference between someone who has an inflated ego that's unmerited versus someone who is genuinely trying to learn. Yes, I do agree with you on that one, which is what I think many of you people here who are tuned in for are here to do. Some genuine knowledge pickup, whether it's me ranting or talking about jeans. One writes, Dunning-Kruger effect. The Dunning-Kruger effect, we're going to call it. A little bit of knowledge. I think that's what that means. Dunning-Kruger effect. I think that's when you know a little, and then you act like you know a lot.
Huh.
Midwits is what I like to call them.
Those are new words to
a
me.
nitwit is someone who's a dummy, but a midwit is someone who has a little bit of knowledge who's still a dummy. Yeah. And I would say more dangerous than the nitwit.
It just depends on the personality, but some people do turn into a little bit of a,
what. You know what. Let's switch topics here. Pedro writes, Bahzad, have you had a chance to watch any of the new X-Men episodes? I have not. I think it's on Disney. I don't have a Disney account anymore. I'm gonna I remember when I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, I don't know. I've seen clips here and there on Instagram, and I'm gonna walk it back a little bit and say it looks a lot better than I had my initial impressions of it.
Right.
Though through all of my X-Men Instagramming lately, I've just been bombarded with 90s X-Men comic book art, and I'm just like, oh, I love this. I love that, Jim Lee era X-Men. Just those chiseled chins, and everyone looked tough, buff, and anyhow, looked great. And I'm just like, man, I should learn how to draw. And I'm like, I'm never going to be able to draw this good. I should just appreciate it. Isn't that the other thing that happens to a lot of us? Sometimes we see things, we're like, I can do that. No. You know what? I like basketball, but I couldn't make a free throw if I tried. But yeah, I haven't seen it yet. If I get a chance, I'll probably still. I don't even know when I would get the chance. But I've been hearing that it's better than I guess. I gave it a bad first impression. I was probably wrong. But will I ever find out? I don't know, because I don't have a lot of time for TV. Invis Ian's right. X97 is incredible. Worth the subscription to watch. All episodes are available. Oh, right. I guess when the whole thing is done, you can get a subscription and just
I see.
Just binge watch it. Watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I like binge watching rather than
waiting.
Watching,
what do we have here? Raphael MC, any updates on the Godzilla collab? I'm so hyped for that one. No updates yet. I should ask Brandon what's going on, because he's working out the contract stuff. So hopefully we'll have more information on that soon. But right now it's in limbo land. It's up in the air. Hopefully it all comes together. That's my hope.
Yeah, but you guys remember how long the whole thing between us talking about JoJo till product coming out, it took so long. So
takes
just
time.
Expect that we're at this very first early stages. If it hasn't even really started yet.
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of ideas and talking, but it'll all hopefully come together in a magnificent way. Snowy really wants to be here today. You should face the camera. Let everyone see your handsome face. Vitaly, what is a blue wave selvage? I can see it on Naked and Famous website poster for Spring Summer 24. Blue wave selvage is an indigo version, slightly different fabric, but a rinsed indigo selvage denim, a version of the Ocean's Edge. So we're gonna expand out this idea of one fabric wash denim options And the blue wave is on that.
Why is it on Spring Summer 24?
On maybe the slider. Maybe we have the pocket flasher on there. Okay. Yeah, that's actually a fabric that's scheduled to come out for fall winter 24. But yeah, it is. That's what it is, and you will see every season fabric wash jeans, right? I wanna make raw denim accessible in all ways, and whether it's raw, heavyweight, lightweight, stretch, and now fabric wash options, we're gonna have them all available for you.
And then that truth is that whenever we have a softer touch, like rinse washed fabric or something, or product, even garment, they do perform very well.
Yeah.
I think people really like that softer touch after years of us focusing on very crunchy.
Yeah.
Denim.
Yeah, there's something for everyone there, and there is a hardcore 100% cotton rigid audience, but there's a reason why raw denim is more niche than everything else in the world, and everything else in the world is rather comfortable, right? So this is a way for us to blend a little bit more comfort while still staying true and raw. I don't want to go down the wash path and create distressed jeans and things like that. That's not for us. We want your jeans to still be clean and dark, and doing a rinse wash on them just to soften them up. To me, that's like you taking your jeans home day one, throwing them in the bathtub, throwing them in the washing machine just to get that starch out, and then starting your journey from there. And I don't consider that, a washed jean or anything like that. You can still, there's all the indigo is practically still in that denim, so you're going to be able to fade that like you would anything else. But it does allow for people who come from the world of, rinsed wash and, distressed jeans, comfort jeans, to come on over to our side. Right? So bridging that gap and bringing people in, that's what we're all about. So we don't see raw denim as one thing, one way. We want to, make all kinds of interpretations of it, colors, weights, textures, you name it. Bring people in and let's all enjoy raw denim together. Jessica Winton writes, any chance the black Kiko denim or the Meteor Selvedge will be in a women's this fall? I'm always dying when I miss the cool stuff. Neither are planned, but I would say that if you haven't tried the men's fits, give them a shot. Risa wears them. We have a lot of lady customers who wear them as well. I think they're suited for a lot of ladies' body types. Yeah. And the only downside is that sizing starts at usually around 28. So if you are petite, things are a little challenging, but a belt is always your friend. Risa's wearing my jeans with a belt on.
Yeah, this is a strong guy, size 30.
Yeah.
And it does help that this is, worn down, so it doesn't fit me like a box. So it's softer and more drapes, but so I mean, if you're gonna try a larger size than you typically wear, maybe just rinse wash, get the starch out so that it's not sitting alongside you rather than you wearing. But this is definitely this is at least 2 or 3 sizes too big on me, but I can make it work with the belt. So no problem.
None. And I also think that ladies often get a little bit more leeway in terms of fits. Whether it's skinny, or wide, there's just so many options that you can wear, and ladies just have more product variety type when it comes to tops and bottoms and mixing and matching, whereas men's clothing is usually pretty standard. We don't have a lot of weird tops. It's maybe you might go as far as a pat, right, or variety. Women's got so many different kinds, scoop necks and things going on all over the place. Men, we got t-shirts, long sleeve or short sleeve.
with that said, like, I think right now is definitely a great time for women to try, like, you know, and get into men's, like, jeans cuts because, like, you know, the trend isn't very skinny. You know, like, skinny is, like, on the way out. So, like, if, you know, it's normal to wear something a little bit baggy or a little bit more loose. So I think if you like, you know, crazy fabrics, we don't have enough female audience to bring all the, like, cool fabrics into women's fits. So if you're into that kind of cool fabrics, I definitely recommend you trying some men's cuts in the future.
Danielle writes, I'm a woman and I love the weird guys. There you go. And Jessica writes back, I'm a 28, but I'm not trying to rip the jeans in the hips. Not a huge fan of a loose butt. Try super guy, even weird guy in the right size. Like, you'd probably find it that it does fit you, like, snugly where you need it.
And the problem with the women wearing men's jeans is usually not the loose butt, it's the waist being too wide, because you still have to get your hips in, so you can't necessarily wear the size that, like, that would fit you in the waist, because that would be too small in the hips.
Accommodate your waist and your legs, and then your hips and your legs, and the waist, either a belt or a quick trip to the tailor shop, and they can take that in, you know, whatever you need, and you'll be comfortable. I know it's a little extra work, I understand that, but you will have a lot more options that way. Jessica writes, I do like wide. Maybe I'll come to Tate and Yoko and check out next time I'm in the neighborhood. Currently going to a conference in Calgary with my Crimson Sky.
Nice.
Well, fantastic. Enjoy Calgary. And enjoy the jeans that the Crimson Sky. That's a great one. Shank Style, if you guys did a Selvedge linen hemp jean, would it be too expensive, i.e. $300 plus? If it was, linen, hemp, Selvedge.
First of all, it's an issue of whether it's possible. Linen, hemp, I mean, they're, you know, similar fibers, but they tend to not be so, not at 100%. We can do, you know, lower percentage, but 100% is very difficult to do on Selvedge. And if we could make that happen, that would be, it's
going to be pricey for sure. Arif writes, the hemp denim I just got is amazing. I sized down on the waist on my weird guys, but probably shouldn't because the thighs were a bit snug. Or if you could still exchange those with us if you know, if they're not the right size for you. I think if the hemp isn't going to stretch out too much, I feel. So if you're not comfortable in those, I would suggest maybe swapping them out for a size up. Call me by your email. That's it. How big are the pocket bags on the Arrow compared to the high skinny or classic fits?
I think I'm not sure, but Arrow and classic should have a similar sized pocket bags, which is like full so size. Much bigger than high skinny. I wouldn't say it's the same as men's, but it's between the men's pocket bag sizing and high skinny, you're much closer to men's pocket sizing. You can go all the way in with your hands.
Yeah. There was another question. Colonel Panic writes, hey, I just got my 100% hemp delivered today. It's so soft and really fits well. Hopefully it won't shrink much when I wash it. Well, it won't shrink much when you wash it because they're already washed. So the shrink is practically gone from them. They'll stretch out a little bit when you wear them, and then they'll shrink up a little bit when you wash them, but you'll play that game. But they really shouldn't get any smaller than they are right now. All right. Mike, I just put on my Unbranded 21 ounce after hanging them to dry after their first wash, and they're hugging my butt beautifully now. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And speaking of hugging butts, no. It was a joke. Speaking of the unbranded 21 ounce, those were just restocked this week. So if you're looking to get in on those, the unbrandedbrand.com 21 ounce denim is back. They've been out for a while. So yeah, grab them while you can. I don't know if we have another restock coming this year.
Probably not this year.
Yeah. So if you're looking to get one for the fall, maybe stock up on a pair now, because I don't. That inventory tends to go, and restocks are few and far between for those. So yeah, Sensei Mad Dib. I'm definitely screwing that up. If you could do a video game collab, what would it be? Video games.
We already did Street Fighter.
Yeah, we did Street Fighter.
You wanted to do Mortal Kombat.
That was in, yeah, that's in the thought.
It's in the thought.
Pokemon would be pretty cool because I would want to do 151 different fabrics.
All right, get working.
That's going to be a very big project. A new release every other day for a year, probably. That'll never happen. 151 fabrics would never. The only way it could happen is. Here's how it could happen.
It cannot happen.
It would not be 151, but you would do like one based on each character and all of their evolutions, so that you could significantly reduce the number, though it would still be a ridiculous number of genes. But in reality, you were probably picking, half a dozen at most characters from Pokemon to do a Pokemon-themed denim.
And it has to work with the gene form. It has to be it has to have enough characteristics of a character that people understand for it to be like a concept for denim.
But I think we could get that no problem.
Really?
Like, there's so much, like, every character has so much backstory and, different powers and colors that I think there's a lot to work with there. Definitely a ton to work with. Steven Kopelkamp writes 151 patches. It would be cool, although difficult, if you did all the patches and then they were randomly put on. But I guess it would be annoying because, say, you had like a Pikachu-themed denim and you didn't get a Pikachu patch.
Yeah.
That would be silly. Or we offer patches separately. And,
I think that's a good way to handle all the 100 and whatever characters. Like, we don't have to develop every single character in denim form, though. Like, how many would of like the species kind would there be?
A lot. Yeah, like Eevee, evolves into. But at this point, I don't know, probably just got a ton. Like Eevee
if you pick the lineage, would there be 50 or
no, like 3 usually. 3 or like one character from their starting point might evolve into up to 3 things. Sometimes just 2.
But how many of those the starting points are there?
A lot. At this point 1,000.
Ooh, okay.
But if you went with the original one, there was just base Pokemon, I have no idea. A lot. There's 151
and each one say have 3 options of evolving, then it would be 50. Which is still a lot.
Yeah, still a lot. But... Yeah, you could. There's no way we could do a gajillion of them. Realistically, you have to pick a couple. So that would be fun. I think that would be fun. Pedro writes Resident Evil. That would also be, I think, fun to do because mix video game and horror put together. Biggity bam. That would be cool. Doom. I would do Doom. I would very much like to do Doom.
Okay.
I love Doom.
You do love Doom.
I do love Doom. I also like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but I don't know how we could put that together.
That would have to be a Tony Hawk collaboration.
Tony, I know you're watching.
We can make Tony jeans.
Let's do it. Let's do the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 denim. Let's do it.
Specifically
part 2.
Mm-hmm.
1 and 2. I'd love to do it. But yeah, it's all gonna be old games. You know, I haven't touched anything modern in forever.
But this is why like Pokemon or even Street Fighter like it's good because it's it's old but it's new.
It transitions, right? There are new Doom games which I've played, but you know, I still play like Doom 1 and Doom 2. Quake would also be in there, but I feel like I'm more of a Doom fan than a Quake fan. I like Quake, but I like the grittiness of Doom a little bit more than Quake. And I also feel like the difference between Quake 1, 2, and 3 are the styling is so wide, but Doom really stays on point. Yeah, Doom would be it. Like if I'm gonna pick a shooter, it's gonna be Doom. Very big fan of that. What about you, Risa? What video games would you like to see made into Gene's form? Tetris.
I was thinking Tetris. I was actually thinking Tetris while you were going on about Doom. I don't know. But it's not. Is that gonna be interesting? I don't know.
That's a tough one.
I as a child, I had a Game Boy, so I played Super Mario Land. Mm-hmm. And stuff like that. I even played like Kirby.
Yep.
Wario.
Yep.
Stuff like that. But I just think that those are not like. I feel like they're too cute. Although Pokemon's pretty cute.
Pretty cute. And you know what I would have though if it was the leather patches? It would all be like angry faced, like battle Pokemon, like you know,
like just be a little tough.
Very tough. I would find them in like their most toughest pose ever.
Even still, it would still be cute. Like it's not gonna be like evil.
Yeah, you get Mewtwo. You want some evilness in there. Anyhow. Yeah, video games are always a fun topic, but yeah, I'm not a boomer as far as the original definition. But to some of you young kids out there, I'm a boomer.
Definitely in the zone.
Yeah, okay, boomer. I'm like,
but definitely we're not the boomer generation where the word was intended.
Yeah, when I was a kid, people my age were boomers, but now I'm the age. Now I'm that age. So, it's not me who's lost touch. It's you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Ukiyo-e style Pokemon, that would be kind of cool. That would be very cool. Like Japanese woodblock designed Pokemon on the leather patch. That would be a very good idea. It's a very good idea. Love Butter writes, I started getting into jeans when you did the Nightmare on Elm Street, and still to this day, my favorite pair. Never got one though. It hurts me. I never got one either.
That one was a very elusive.
Yeah.
It was hard to get.
That was hard to get.
Didn't make a lot. Yeah. And
that one and the Friday the 13th one also. So, recently, we were talking about doing another Friday the 13th, and I'm like, yeah, we should do one with Bag Jason. I like Bag Jason. Nobody gives Bag Jason much respect.
That's not what you think of when you think of
No,
Jason.
Absolutely not. You really don't. And like, even to like regular people, I think, the other day I was talking to somebody about horror movies, and they're like, which kind of horror movies do you like? And, I guess their answers were a little like, they didn't know all the, they're like, which one is the one with that and this? And, they were confusing like, Michael Myers and Leatherface, and they didn't know who belonged to like what franchise. And they're like, which is the one with the hockey mask? And then I'm like, oh yeah, Friday the 13th. And they're like, yeah, like that one. I'm like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, have you ever seen the first one? And they're like, I think so. I'm like, no. You would know, because the guy with the mask, sorry, spoiler alert. The guy with the mask isn't in that movie at all.
But to be fair, I watched those with you,
Yeah.
and I still didn't remember the fact that the guy with the hockey mask didn't show up in the first two movies. Like, I had no, like, I don't know. It's just, it's, the picture of Jason is so, like, ingrained with our head that, like, the Jason with bag, we see it as Jason with the mask.
Right. Yeah.
Kind
like
of.
you just like right. The first two movies, if you have an expectation of what Friday the 13th is, those two aren't it.
Yeah, it's which is very interesting. Like there is no such thing as like, because a lot of the times movies, franchise, like the first couple
Is what sets the tone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this is literally the opposite of it.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. I do like that about the not Friday the 13th series. Raphael MC Jason X. Oh yeah, I'd love to do Cyber Jason. That would be cool. Terminator 2 would also be cool. Pedro's writing. Terminator 2 would be another. I love Terminator 2.
You do love that.
Terminator 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time. It goes that and Kill Bill. I love those movies. But Terminator 2, I love it. The rest of the Terminators, part 1's fine. Part 3 I actually don't dislike, but everything else is just, I've watched them all and I'm like, a curtain salesman? A curtain salesman? Is that really where we went with that one, guys? I could have written a better. I've written no movies ever, not even one. I've never even put a word to paper trying to write a movie, and I could have written a better movie than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the idea of it. Like, when that setting was introduced in this, like, creative meetings, like, didn't nobody say, like, wait, that sounds a little...
Nobody in the room was like, that is stupid. And because of that, everyone in that room is stupid. Very dumb people. The dumbest. They ruined it. Anyhow, the beauty of the Terminator movies is that with every new one, they're always like, yeah, just forget everything. Forget all the other movies that we made, and we're just kind of starting over again. So hopefully one day they'll get their act together, but I ain't holding my breath.
But speaking of movies, we are going to watch one of your favorite movies.
Oh, yes. That's it. We're going to go watch Jurassic Park, which would also make another great gene.
Yes. 100%.
But we're going to watch Jurassic Park with an orchestra playing the music.
Yeah. So we're all grown up now.
Yeah. This is how adults view films.
Yes.
But,
films that are like 20-something years old.
Yeah, I think I said that wrong. This is how adults view films, not how you watch adult films.
No.
Although that would be weird if you hadn't, like, because you have like those old movies with like the disco and like jazzy soundtracks, and like if you would have like a jazz, like a really nice like jazz band doing the funk band doing the music, that would be weird.
That would be weird.
It's like I came for the music, but oh man, there's a bad punchline there. Rahul writes, "Hey Bahzad and Risa, hi from India. Hello. Is the base fabric on the 15th anniversary and Pickle Rick the same? 15 ounce slub? Not the same.
No.
Not the same. Though if you want to see what the original base fabric for the Pickle Rick denim was, we are going to be coming out with something called the prototype Selvedge, which was the original base fabric for Pickle Rick without the green cast, but with the Pickle Rick Selvedge. So I guess we were testing, and we had to make some rolls, so we made some, and so we're going to turn those rolls into jeans, and so there is going to be we're going to call it the prototype Selvedge, and if you want to see you don't really see how the jeans are made, but that was the basis for that jean. You're going to be able to get it, and I don't know when, but you will be able to get it. It's in the production pipeline. Right, W5, Terminator 2. Come with me if you want the fades. That's it. Come with me if you want the fades. Roll writes, interesting. I do have a Pickle Rick. My favorite pair until now. Just got them this January. Well, I'm glad, and I hope you enjoy them. Very, very fun jean to make. The Solenia Selvedge, the Pickle Man. I really did enjoy the Rick and Morty collaboration. I loved making those jeans.
Yeah. And we got a little secret character.
Yeah. One thing that I kept that one pretty quiet. I kept that, and one thing that people didn't realize was like with every like Rick and Morty video that we made, I put a little. There was a little Mr. Poopy Butthole somewhere in that video. You would see him in the background somewhere, and nobody caught on to that. Nobody caught on to that, which I thought people would see it and think, oh. But yeah. Anyhow, I liked making that. I liked making the Mr. Poopy Butthole jeans, and it made sense to like have him at the very end because he shows up at the end of every season. I always look forward to seeing Mr. Poopy Butthole update and saying Mr. Poopy Butthole is just a lot of fun. And I've picked up the term ooh wee. I say it all the time. From
you
Mr.
can't
Poopy
unsay
Butthole.
it. Like,
I can't unsay it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh wee. I always say it.
Yeah.
I say it so much. Okay. I think BD had a good question here. I think I skimmed over it somewhere, but I was saving it. Right here. BD, with you being so busy and tracking so far ahead, what are your best tips or tricks for keeping it all on track? Sort of pants related. It's very pants related. Notepads, and more notepads. Write everything down. I have notepad. I have my phone notepad. I have physical notepads. I have notepads everywhere. And the key is that I know where all my notepads are because I have ones at my desk. I have ones at the drawer. I have the one on my phone. And sometimes I don't remember where I wrote something down, but based on the notes that I had written previously, I can, tell when this idea came together. So I write everything down. I've just got lists of things and keep everything. I try to keep seasonal collection ideas. I have like a master Excel file that I keep together, and we got all like in our drawers here. It's just tons of fabric swatches. Like you might not be able to see it, but every season is organized, and so all of the fabrics that we're going to run for those seasons, or like even ideas that we had for those seasons, are there. And so I organize them by like, here's what we're running with, here are good ideas. So maybe there's something in like the fall winter 23 folder where it's like, okay, here's the ideas that we ran with, here's the stuff that we're going with, and here are the ideas that we didn't run with. But like every season, like when we're developing a new collection, I will go back and like review old ideas that maybe they couldn't get developed in time, or maybe it wasn't the right time, or maybe just for whatever reason it didn't get made, but it's still a good idea. So the key is to keep organized, and maybe my note taking isn't as organized, but as it could be. But if you don't write it down, you're gonna forget it. So write everything down.
Yeah, and I also like really, starting to like feel it myself that like I knew as a concept, I knew that like writing something down is helpful when you remember things and stuff like that. But it is true, like it's so true that like when I like type something up on the phone, because I usually use my, like when I'm outside of the home, like I use my phone as a notepad because then I don't have to carry a notepad. But like there is a significant difference in like an idea sticking to my head versus like typing on the phone, and it's there, but and it's easier to find than notes, to be fair. But at the same time, it's just like it's not like in my head the same way. If I wrote it down, I will remember writing it down. So that's double memory. So it helps. So I think I have to like carry around my notes in meetings. Going forward.
Yeah. Pedro writes, where does my toxic elephant fall into? Toxic elephant falls into the Godzilla collection, actually, because one of the ideas that we have for that one is for King Ghidorah and to do a Frankenstein Toxic Avenger-like denim triple alternating twill. Hopefully we can get the weight boosted up. So it's in there. It might not come out as like the Toxic Avenger denim with the green cast with the heavy weight, but triple twill, heavier weight. It's, dude, I'm listening. And, it might get twisted a little bit, but I think you'd be happy with that denim if and when it comes out. Sensei writes, Sensei Muad Dib. I'm saying it right. How do you store your jeans? Folded hooks, hangers, does it even matter? Also, everyone should thumbs up the video. Yes, everyone should thumbs up the video. That is a good point. I think probably one of the best points somebody has brought up in this video today. So why don't you go ahead and do that, everybody. Hit that like button. Tap, touch, or smash that like button.
Smash it.
Smash it. Don't smash your phone or your television. Don't do those. Those are bad. But just hitting that button, it's free to do, and it's nice to do. So, and it's the right thing to do. So go ahead and do that. And to answer the rest of your question, how do I store my jeans? My jeans are stored flat. They are all folded. And I mean,
unless it's your routine pair, then that just sits.
Then it's thrown on the floor on a pile of clothes. Yeah. Some people are like, oh, you shouldn't fold your jeans. I don't know, maybe they wouldn't go that far to say that, but some people are like, oh, to protect my creases, I hang my jeans, and it doesn't matter.
It does
not matter. If you have the room to hang your jeans, go ahead and hang your jeans.
If
you like better. Looking at your collection, get yourself a nice rack, get some S hooks, hang your jeans. It looks nice. It's a nice little display. We have in Tate and Yoko and Naked Famous Denim NYC, we have the menu. It looks very attractive. But that's a space thing, right? If you have the space to do it, go ahead and do it. And it's also, as far as accessibility, hanging your jeans, you can see them, you can look at all of them very easily. If you have them in piles, it's sometimes a little bit harder to go through those piles. But for me, everything's piled up. It's all stacked up, triple folded, But
also, I think realistically, if you have dirty jeans, then hanging probably makes it less, the bacteria probably wouldn't grow as much because you get certain amount of air flowing.
Flow. Uh-huh.
So maybe that's how you handled it.
There's no wrong way, but there's no right way.
The right way is the way that works for you.
Yeah. There you go.
There's nothing you can't do. I guess you can't.
What can't you do?
You shouldn't do. Well, you shouldn't put your jeans in the toilet bowl.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Leaving it in the water is not going to help.
No, but very bad.
Yeah. Other than that, I can't really think of things you shouldn't do.
Don't freeze your jeans. That's kind of Don't put them in the freezer.
Yeah.
Doesn't really do it. It makes your jeans cold. Might freeze them. Mm-hmm. It definitely does that. But aside from that, it doesn't really help. So there you go. Any other tips on how not to store your jeans? Let us know in the chat, or if you're watching this in the replay, in the comment section. Let's find I'm gonna give me the funniest one will get read on next week's stream. And the prize is that your comment will get read on next week's stream.
Yeah.
So there you go.
We'll laugh about it.
So the funniest way to store your jeans. Let's hear it. The dumbest way, the most wrong way to store your jeans. Keep it
PG?
80s PG-13. 80s PG-13.
I don't know what that is.
In 80s PG-13, nudity was okay. Not anymore, but 80s PG-13. It was like a light R. You know? But yeah, keep it there.
Okay.
Soft. We like soft. Okay. Pedro, you should never put your jeans in the toilet bowl. Something I thought I'd never hear, but did. Sometimes you need to be told. There's somebody out there who is thinking, this might be a good idea.
It's got a lid.
Yeah,
we can store it, but no.
We might. If we can just help one person out there, made this whole live stream worth it. Mike Trump 37. What if Naked and Famous did a USA or Canadian line based on individual states, provinces, and reference something special about each state and province, like the state, province, animals, flags, food, etc. Mic drop. We already do that. We have the New York Empire State Selvedge. It is a tribute to New York and only available in our New York City store. We've got La Belle Provence Selvedge, the all Quebec edition of the vulgar Selvedge with the Quebec dirty words, the French-Canadian dirty words embroidered into the Selvedge ID. And I'm currently working
embroidery. It's woven.
It's woven. It's jacquarded in to the Selvedge ID. And we've got in the works, the Toronto edition, my hometown, is going to be made into denim form.
But that's going to be more of a Toronto as a city and not as Ontario.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, coming from Toronto, and I can speak for all Ontarians here, the only thing that matters is Toronto. Wherever you are, Kitchener, Waterloo, Hamilton, Oshawa, let me put it to you this way. When you travel and you tell people where you're from, you just say Toronto. And even if you're not from Toronto, and it annoys me as people who aren't from Toronto who say that.
But if you're
you
from
still say it.
Waterloo, you say you're from Toronto? I don't think so.
I'm going to go with probably, because who knows what Waterloo is. What is Waterloo known for?
I don't know.
Blackberry. That's
blackberries. Everybody knows that.
That's a big one, said the person in 2002 when they had 100% of the smartphone market.
Yes, but everybody knows BlackBerry is what I mean. It's
no, but let me put it to you this way. Nobody knows what BlackBerry is.
Okay.
Nobody.
Okay.
Ask a 23-year-old what a BlackBerry is.
Yeah, but I mean...
They know what VCRs are, and they don't know what a BlackBerry is.
I don't know why you're being so...
Anyways, I'm just saying, Toronto, as a Torontonian, it's the best. And, yeah, I'm just being a little with it. But, it'll have probably some Ontarian elements in it, but it'll be very Toronto-related, I think, for sure. Junior, Toronto is the Texas of Canada. Toronto is the Texas of Canada.
Okay. Why?
Because everything's bigger in Toronto.
Oh.
We got the CN Tower. You got the Toronto Raptors. All of those guys, tall.
All right. Texas of Canada.
Yeah.
All right. I thought somewhere in Alberta would be a Texas of
Canada. Probably. But as a Torontonian, we also like to take credit for everything. Everything is better in Toronto. And, there was a song I was listening to. What's it called? Hold on. I can't play it, but you guys got to look it up. It's To It and Add It by Stompin' Tom Connors. Stompin' Tom. To It and Add It. And he just sings about how everyone's coming to Toronto.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
It's a good song. Yeah, you guys should go and check it out. To It and Add It and To It. Will you always run the same city jeans, or will you change the existing ones down the road when you've changed the Chinese New Year ones? So the New York City edition, like there's a broken twill. I don't think we're gonna change that anytime soon, though. Teaser alert. There's gonna be another. There will be another edition of the New York City jean coming. Probably before the summer. So, we're not going to change the original fabric. The indigo, I have to say, is taking its time to be restocked. But there will be another edition coming soon. We'll tease that a little bit more a little bit later. But know that that's coming. The Montreal edition, I think that'll remain the same until we're out of the fabric. Maybe we'll do another one down the line. Toronto, it hasn't even happened yet, so we'll give that some time to evolve and see if that might need an upgrade at some point. But the point is that all of these jeans are. Ooh, who could that be?
Garrett, maybe.
Maybe
Is
Garrett.
he back?
Vincent, maybe. Is that maybe Vincent? Terry? Could it be Terry? I don't know. We'll see. The mail lady. She always delivers us good news. Anything good?
It is a sample
Oh,
for Wonder Looper.
a Wonder Looper sample has arrived. You'll have to tune into the Wonder Looper live stream tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern to find out what that is. Rice W5 writes, freezing preserves the bacteria to keep it going on and on. So freezing your jeans, does it actually preserve the bacteria?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It depends on the bacteria, probably.
Yeah.
It's just some of them would die and others would.
You're gonna make super bacterias.
Ooh.
COVID, I was going to say COVID-2, but COVID was already the 19th one. COVID-20, it's going to come from frozen gene bacterias.
Is it the 19th one, or is because it developed in 2019?
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Like it was like an EA Sports game.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
So is there a COVID-24 that we just don't know about?
I'm sure.
Maybe they're not promoting it like they used to?
Yeah, it's just like flu. Every year it's a different variation. Although we did start it calling Omicron or Delta or whatever.
Yeah, that's because they didn't want to call it the Wuhan
No, but it's the variation, right? Like,
oh, is it how that worked?
Yeah, it's Omicron version of the same.
Because I remember at one point they were like, "This is like Brazilian variant and this variant," like so they just kept changing the city names, and then
right. But what I'm saying is that it's a variation started to be called like COVID-19, and like it just branched out. So if it's a brand new bacteria, I also like what's the difference between bacteria and virus?
One's living and one's not living.
Bacteria is living.
Yeah.
So if it's a brand new kind of bacteria that you're growing in your freezer, what would they be called? Like
maybe you're growing viruses in the freezer.
Okay.
Like a Canadian cold variant, we can call it. Let's just call it what it is. The Oshawa variant of COVID. Sorry, Oshawa.
Why Oshawa?
I'm just picking on Oshawa because probably nobody here is from Oshawa. Sorry. I like Oshawa. I've been there a few times. The Schwa, I used to call it. But damn, COVID was like playing EA games and eventually wanted to actually be in the game. Yeah, get in the game. EA Sports. That's their. Unicron, the Unicron Transformers collaboration with COVID. That would be something. All right. Yeah, let's try not to create a global pandemic based off of the storage of our genes. We'll avoid that. We don't want to be like Wuhan Coronavirus Institute that was like, oh no, it didn't come from us. It was the what mark? I'm like, it's in the name. It says it on the sign. This is the factory.
Okay, chill with that.
Anyhow, that was some good stuff. How labs store bacteria. That's it. They're going to use genes to do it, and then they're going to blame us. It's going to be a whole conspiracy, everybody. This is turning into one of those conspiracy channels. Tell me, Risa, what's the biggest conspiracy you think is true?
I don't know. I don't really know any conspiracy.
There you go. That's a conspiracy in itself, that you don't know any conspiracies. In the audience, guys, let us know. What's your favorite conspiracy that you think Risa does believe in?
What is the major one? Oh, like JFK.
He's alive.
He's alive?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was a CGI AI video. Didn't happen. Just completely didn't happen.
Or the moon landing.
The moon doesn't exist.
The moon doesn't.
No.
What is the one?
There's not even birds aren't even real. Yeah. You got to take it a step forward. You know, these people are like, no, like the Earth is flat. No, the Earth doesn't exist, guys. We're not even here. This is all a simulation. Yeah. If you think that the Earth is here, then woo, you're really not getting in there. Yeah. Elvis is still alive. Indeed. He was reincarnated as Justin Bieber. True. Fact. That's a Canadian fact that Justin Bieber is the living embodiment of Elvis Presley.
They look very different.
No, I don't think they do. Just a modern... Elvis was like, you know what? I gotta go into the future. Boom, plopped his brain into this handsome young lad, and that now he's rocking and rolling in for a new generation. Still swinging those hips. Ian Oburn writes, conspiracy theory is that Mario is the bad guy and Bowser is the good guy. Mario is invading the kingdom, trying to steal Bowser's girl, killing all the inhabitants.
That's not so far-fetched.
Sure.
To be honest.
But I think in Mario lore is that the games are more of a play. Like in Mario Brothers 3, the opening sequence has like curtains opening and all, like it looks like you're looking at a stage. And so I think the idea is that like everyone here is playing a role in this grand story.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think Mario's actually killing anybody. He plops them on the head and they take a dive off stage. I think that's what happens. Maybe that's my conspiracy theory.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. Slav Desjardins, TWIV podcasters. I don't know what TWIV is. Would love something, a virus-themed denim release. You know, I remember when I was a young man, you know, you'd go into like Urban Outfitters and they would have like these plushy dolls of viruses and bacterias. Yeah, I always thought that was kind of cool. They'd be like, oh, here's what botulism looks like. And it would be a plush botulism or something. Here's anthrax. Like
it is kind of cute.
It's
a cute way to learn, and if you're a nerd into that world, I'm sure they appreciate that.
If you're a nerd, like you like science and stuff, then yeah, it's probably a gift. I'm joking. It's a good gift. It's kind of a fun gift. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to commemorate COVID-19 with a pair of jeans. That's seems like not a great idea.
It's still fresh and new.
It's still out there, guys. Yeah. Still out there. 28 days later, Naked and Famous. Right. I want to.
that movie.
Yeah, in the horror realm, Yeah, I think the ones I want to do the most next are Texas Chainsaw, Alien.
Alien is a very good one.
We got to get Alien. Alien, I think, is like... I just want to... Like, Texas Chainsaw, I kind of want to do first, just to kind of complete, like, the icons, the horror icons, right? Or, like, I would say the only other one would be Ghostface, right? Like, there are other, like, horror guys out there, I find, like Pennywise or, like, Chrome Skull. Like, there's... I just find that they don't have... like as mainstream an appeal as that set of characters.
Right.
Freddy, Jason, Michael.
Yeah, they're not the starting members of the horror.
Right.
Bad guys.
Yeah. Like that team, that's like the all-star team, right? If you're gonna pick the all-star draft, like it's gonna be Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Leatherface, and I think a Ghostface. Right? Right?
Ghostface is a weird one, but I guess...
Because it's a
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it's a different one in every movie. But I think the face has become... That's an iconic face.
Yeah.
Did I have to spoiler alert that one for you? Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. But it also doesn't give away the endings.
Right.
Which is
You don't know...
You don't know...
Who.
If you have never watched a Scream movie, they're all whodunits. Who done it? So go and watch Scream. It's a wonderful movie. I love it. I love all of them. I like,
There's some good ones and
there's some good ones and not
great.
right. Exactly how you're saying it.
But as a series, like, if you are like kind of talking about like a TV series, like not every single episode is the best episode, but you like it as a series.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that.
Yeah. Jeremy Didson writes, can't be all-star if you don't pick Chucky. Still has movies and a hit TV reboot going on now. I'm going to go with okay. I would put him as player 6 on that like icon list because he's certainly memorable and more mainstream, though not my favorite.
And I think people don't respect Chucky.
It's just doll stuff that I find that people like.
Don't like child doll like.
He's creepy. There's no question about it. Did you ever see his presence on WCW World Championship Wrestling? There's an episode with Chucky. And there's also the time that RoboCop, saved Sting. He saved the Stinger. RoboCop would also be another franchise I'd like to do. Once we get into Alien, and then you can get into sci-fi.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's a
Alien,
great,
RoboCop,
storyline.
Terminator. Ooh, those would all be so fantastic to do. Yeah. Nicholas Vilpu writes, my son says Alien is horror, but I consider it straight sci-fi. It's sci-fi horror. It's a real mix of the two.
Yeah. I never considered it as horror, but as an adult, when you rewatch it, it is horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like The Thing. The Thing is a creature feature. It's a monster movie, but it's a whodunit. It's a horror movie. It's a lot of things. Horror
and thriller.
Yeah.
Are kind of sometimes it's just to me I whatever I don't like is horror and whatever I do like is thriller, but that's why I would consider Alien to be thriller, but I think it has more of a horror. Story.
Yeah. Junior writes, I rewatched the first Scream recently, and it was great. I'm glad you did. It's greater when you get the references, I feel. It's kind of like watching a Tarantino movie, because, Wes Craven put that together, obviously a horror god, horror legend, but he put in all these, here's all these tidbits for you horror lovers out there that you're going to be like, oh, I don't know. Sometimes it's how do you say it? You're just like, rubbing your audience where it's like, oh, I recognize that thing. But right. I love it. I like that kind of stuff. And so like when I watch Scream or a Tarantino movie, I always like noticing the references that they put into that stuff. So that's it. BD writes, RoboCop jeans must be $1 with shipping at $199 plus. But what happens if we send her a free shipping code? We're screwed. I'd buy that for $1. Jeremy Didson writes, I would buy that for $1. In case you guys don't know, there is a director's cut version of the first RoboCop, which is a little bit more violent. I would recommend seeking that edition out because it's a little bit more violent. It's a little bit more fun. It's a little bit more violent in a way that it becomes comical because, when they're like shooting at these guys, they're going on for so long. You're like, he's already dead. It's just like, but they just draw those certain scenes out so long. It's funny in a way. I know it's a little morbid to say, but Jeremy Dixon, the first Scream was good. The first Scream was good, but then they just had to keep stretching the Billy Loomis storyline instead of being original, even in the remakes. I wouldn't call the new ones remakes because they're not remakes. They are continuations, which I like. I don't need a remake of that movie. I'm fine with a new cast and, bridging over from, past to present. I like the transition. Obviously, they were teenagers when they started. They can't,
stay a teenager.
Yeah. So,
no, but it's also like, it's amazing how much of that storyline that they were able to keep going. And it's still, like, it's not like, oh, this doesn't make sense at all,
Right. And by the end, when the mystery is revealed, you're like, every time you watch that movie, you're like, they got me.
It's usually like, oh, I knew it, but then I changed my mind on the way, and then like, but I was right, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's great. How do we incorporate that mystery into the gene?
I don't know. That's a difficult one.
It could be.
You don't know.
Which, like, we could have a couple of different Ghostface. Or a couple of different like ideas of like what the gene could be, and it's just like a blind bag. So like you could get one, maybe we have like 2 or 3 options. They're all Ghostface. You get the bag is gonna be black. You don't know what you're getting in there, but you're gonna get something. I don't know how many people would be willing to do that.
Yeah,
I would be willing to, like, if I would be cool with it.
Well, like, is it like Gacha where you know everything?
Right, you know
what the options are?
Yeah, you know what the options are. And, like, we could even do it where it's like, we made 300 of these, 200 of these, 100 of these. Or it could be simple as, like, it's the same gene, but maybe the leather patch is a little bit different. That would be better. That way everyone knows what gene they're getting. Like, because that's the main event, right? And then the patch would be,
like a Gacha
style.
Mystery,
Gacha style mystery. It could be even like the same design, but maybe like one is embossed, one has like a metallic foil, one has something else. I don't know.
It would be like it would be the easiest for us to handle, and also maybe easiest for people to swallow. In terms of, like, I was actually, like, I think we talked about this idea of having, like, a mystery color core where, like, you don't know which color you're going to get. Like, you're just going to have to wear it and then, like, find out which color it's going to be. Maybe it's not so screamy, but I keep thinking of that idea.
Right. Rice W5, conspiracy, a secret version of Pulp Fiction exists.
Is it a conspiracy based off of any...
Or is it just an edit where the movie is in chronological order? That could be something. My Scream conspiracy theory is that there is a second killer in Scream 3.
Which one's Scream 3?
I can't say it because it's going to reveal too much. It's when they're making the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. When in doubt, make it less complicated. Let's not forget the Toxic Avenger. I would say that the main problem with Toxic Avenger was it was a lesser known property and timing.
Yeah.
But like I think with these large, and I think we were still new to the collaboration world, and maybe we haven't drummed up enough of an audience for that.
But also, like, I don't think the product was bad.
No,
I think the product was like how we approach these collaborations with, like, we want embodiment of these characters in terms of jeans, and I think we accomplished that with that.
Yeah.
It's just like a matter of, like, again, like maybe people not knowing or not wanting to buy jeans off of that property. Who knows? But
yeah. Nicholas Vilpu writes, is the unreasonably cold weather affecting the denim mills? I've noticed a lot of Japanese brands haven't had many releases this year. I don't think it's the weather affecting the mills.
No, not the weather. Although, I mean, it's the weather doesn't really affect any mills, and because it's not like we are dealing with, crops. Like we in Japan, we don't really have a cotton production. We would import all the cotton from other countries and then make jeans. So it doesn't get affected by weather.
Yeah.
But it just maybe a workforce.
Yeah, I think sewing production space is generally where a lot of the slowdown is, and we've been talking about this for a long time.
Yeah.
It's it's a lot of factors. One of the factors is like the American dollar. The Japanese yen is a lot weaker, so making things overseas, as a lot of smaller, like big companies in Japan might have been more tempted to do, it just didn't make sense, like because the costing didn't make sense for them, so they're moving a lot of the production back into Japan, or it might have been a little bit more expensive than before, but it's maybe even as competitive as it. Well, when you factor in everything, it could be as competitive as making things overseas. So a lot more production is being done in Japan with as many, or in many cases, fewer sewers than before. So the production space, like the factories are churning out. The sewing factories are churning. I'm sure they're at full capacity, but it's just that there's more demand to make stuff in the country. So it's kind of spreading things a little bit thin in that respect. And it's up to them to like expand production space. But one thing you might know about Japan is that they calculate things very carefully. And so maybe some people see this as a little bit more of a trend. And, if you expand out production lines, you buy more machines, is this something that we're going to need 5 years into the future? Or are we just going to like deal with the increased production now and then get back to like a steady production down the line? Some people might be expanding, some people might just be sitting on it being like, you know what, we're just gonna chill. So it's a lot of things, but the mills aren't incredibly they're not backed up as far as like making fabric, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, yeah, it depends, but yeah, it's not so I mean, there's a lot more complicated discussion we don't have to go into, but I don't think we have a problem.
Yeah. NV writes, I like a 1987 Monster Squad collab. I really enjoy the movie Monster Squad. It's one movie that I don't have in my collection that I would like to have in my collection, but every time I find it, it's usually a little bit pricey. I would like to find it for a good price. Monster Squad. It has what's his name? Ben Savage, the Wonder Years guy. He's in that one. Also, that's an 80s PG-13 movie, if you know what I mean. Yeah. It's just the way it goes.
Okay.
Stu Fu for free writes, boot guy fit when? We've got Groovy Guy, my friend. We've got True Guy. We've got your boots covered. We got Strong Guy. If you have problems getting our jeans over your boots, you shouldn't have one, because we have the solution. Yeah. It's already there. Tiger Squid writes, mystery core sounds super cool. Do it. Mystery core. Okay.
Yeah. I like it. I don't know if we'll get to it anytime soon, but
yeah, we'll see. We got a long future ahead of us, that's for sure. With all that said, I think we should dive right into snack time.
Okay, you don't want to review anything new?
Yes, I do want to review something new because this is pretty darn cool.
This is Justin.
Brandon hasn't seen this yet. Brandon, if you're watching, I know you are. Here's a preview of the latest development that this is going to be coming for spring, summer 25. The future, my friends. You're looking at the future today. You're seeing what the future of denim looks like. Risa,
This is our sample fabric cutting. Ecru warp. You see a lot of seeds coming through. It's a nice ecru with a little bit of a brown undertone because we got Foxfibre on the weft. It looks really light over here.
When you pull it back a bit, you can see the darker brown weft with the ecru warp. So it's an all-natural. I think we called the fall-winter 24 jean is going to be indigo warp Foxfibre weft. I think we call that the all-natural Foxfibre. Regrettably, this probably should have been called the all-natural Foxfibre, but we'll call this the all-natural ecru Foxfibre. Yeah. And so it's an ecru denim. Reminiscent of some old school Foxfibre fabrics that were made in the past, but this is of course Selvedge, made in Japan. It's got this beautiful brown line Selvedge ID here as well. So the warmness of this ecru is gorgeous. Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna steal the sample for sure. It's coming home with Bahzad.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Because it's like noticeably in like real life, noticeably like browner than regular ecru. Yeah. But it still looks like ecru. Yeah. So it's got a very nice vibe. It has a
handsome tone to it, I have to say.
It's got lots of C's, like I said, and just it's a great cuff flipper.
Melody Murray writes, "What's the weight?"
It came out to be like a just under 14. It will be like a 14 ounce denim.
So a nice sturdy denim.
Yeah, it's actually not like...
It's not super rigid.
Yeah. It's not. It's not flumpy, but it is pretty soft.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. A world premiere, a world preview, sneak peek of the new all-natural ecru Foxfibre coming for spring, summer 25. You'll see that in sample form probably by July. We'll have something to show you there. And by around that time, maybe end of July, we'll have the fall winter 24 preview video ready for you guys to see on the internet. Chris Griffin writes, the size of this swatch is big enough to make a Bahzad special. I actually don't think so. Probably not. Yeah. But close. Okay, let's do it. Let's do the chips and the drink, because we're probably gonna need a drink to go down with those chips in case they are too spicy. Now, for those people who didn't watch the last episode of This Week at Tate and Yoko, immediately after this stream, you should go and watch it because it is one of the funniest ones that we've done. And the boys, they go through all the awesome previews and stuff that, all the news that you can use. But they close it out with their very own snack time. And they try this particular chip. It's not a Cheeto, but it's definitely a Cheeto.
It's by Frito-Lay.
It's by the good people at the Frito-Lay Corporation. And it is a spicy snack.
It's a togarashi miso. It's a chili miso flavor.
Okay.
And it's just...
It's supposed to be spicy. And this is something you could just buy in the stores. Like, this isn't like... Yeah. I mean, there's obviously some grave warnings here on the front.
It's got a warning here. It's got a black and yellow warning here.
Yeah. They ain't messing around. Kids, beware. This is going to wreck your day. At least we're going to find out. The boys at Tate and Yoko found this to be quite a spicy meatball.
It says you would think that don't eat if you're a small child.
Yeah.
But it says that if you're a small child, be careful.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Children beware.
Yeah.
But don't stay away from it. All right. So
All
we're gonna give this a try along with
this.
This
is what you meant.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So this seemed gross.
It's called Fruity Cafe, and it's got pineapple, it's got orange, it's got mango, with coffee.
Yes.
It looks suspicious.
A fruity coffee, everybody.
Yeah.
Mango
fruity
and
coffee. It's not
what you want.
It's probably not gonna be what we want, but we're gonna try it anyways.
Yeah. So let's start off with the drink, just to open up our palate, and then we'll try the heat and see if it is as heatful. Let's do a pour on. There we go. So you guys can get the full experience here.
Oh, it smells like mango.
It does not look like coffee.
It strongly smells like mango and pineapple.
Yeah, it's mango and pineapple.
Okay,
very forward.
We have a spicy thing coming.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I mean, it smells like a fruity juice or like a fruity iced tea.
Tropical juice. Okay.
Yeah, the end taste is coffee.
Yeah. When you put it in your mouth, it just tastes like, like a tropical tea.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it hits you with
that tannin kind of coffee taste.
Yeah.
It's actually not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not half as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. But it's just not necessary, I think.
Yeah, it's not the best.
And it's just the aftertaste is just so artificial feeling.
Yeah.
It's just here's a coffee bean.
It tastes a little aspartame at the end there. Maybe.
Anyways, it's not bad, though.
It might not have aspartame, but there's something to it. It's like a 6. It's a straight 6.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not great. If I had this, I'd be like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't just dump the rest. I would drink it, but
yeah,
maybe not the second time.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Let's hit one more question.
Okay.
Salve de Jardin writes, when will photos of the MIJ 12 be posted to the Naked Famous Denim website? Relatively soon.
Yes, we just got the pictures, I think, yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'll update the website.
Probably next week you'll see it.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Okay. Let's jump into these spicy chips. We're going to see if the heat is real.
Also, although, MIJ 12, I think maybe we should update people on the fact that because last week we, released the information about True Guy missing embroidery.
Yeah.
But that was a little premature for us to announce that.
It turns out a handful of True Guys don't have the embroidery.
But there are majority, more than half, way more than half, has embroidery. So all the jeans that we ship to our wholesale partners, retail partners, they will receive ones with embroidery.
Yeah.
On our website, Tate and Yoko only, we would have
we'll have a second product.
Of products, True Guy MIJ 12 without embroidery. So if you like that, you can buy from us. If not,
you can still get it with the embroidery. So
exactly.
The True Guy will be available on Tate and Yoko only with both options, but if you buy it anywhere else, you're going to have it with the embroidery like you would expect. So there's your update.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's hit.
I'm a little scared because of,
Yeah.
It smells good. It smells delicious.
Yeah, it smells nice. It doesn't smell insanely spicy. It smells.
And these snacks usually are very tasty, so
yeah,
it might be just tasty.
Okay.
And spicy.
Classic Cheeto form, right? Smells spicy, but nothing over the top. has a spice to it.
Okay. It smells like miso.
Hot immediately.
Yeah. It's spicy.
It's on there. It is coating my mouth. Like,
It is pretty hot.
Yeah,
This is one of the spiciest series out of this series.
They weren't joking.
No.
No, this is hot. Like, it's not the hottest thing I've ever had, but it lingers. You bite it, it coats your tongue with spice.
Immediately.
Yeah.
It gets...
Pain level is like 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. It's not insane. I've had way hotter than this. But if you don't like spice, you're not used to spice, this is sticking around. And if you eat a bunch of these, it's just gonna, the alarm bells are gonna ring because it's just gonna keep building.
We just had one.
Yeah.
And it like I can feel that this is the type of things that builds up like longer.
Yeah.
Than
Like, you are not gonna eat this whole bag in one sitting. It's gonna mess you up.
Yeah.
You'll have a couple.
Yeah. Yes, this is serious.
Yeah.
It tastes good, but this is a serious
Yeah, you need
spice.
to. You should have a. If you're gonna sit and eat these, you need to have a drink ready, because it's gonna be uncomfortable. Whew. Yeah, it's getting me.
It is pretty bad. Pretty good.
Building up.
Yeah. And I think if I like I can feel the heat from inside too.
Yeah, it got me in the back of the throat.
Oh.
It's just yeah, it's getting me. Those boys weren't kidding around. It's not like they couldn't handle spice. That's a spicy chip. I think the warning that kids should be like
Aware.
cautious
Yeah.
is a little too generous.
Yeah.
If you gave this to a kid, this is gonna mess them up. This is gonna wreck a kid. It's not the hottest. It's just a little, like, it's sticking to the back of my throat. It's making me feel a little uncomfortable.
I feel like a little, my face being a little warmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, this is, I think, what did I say the spice level was? A 6 out of 10? This is going up. This is like a 7.5.
It's pretty spicy.
Yeah. Ooh, no joke. This is the real deal.
It's delicious too, though.
Yeah, but
It's not one of those like really, because sometimes like they have like really spicy hot sauce that just tastes like crap, like just acid. But this one's like, good.
The acid ones are no good. Like the ones with too much citric acid,
Yeah.
whatever it is that they're doing with this one, it's great. It's great. If you like spicy snacks,
Yeah, you want to try it.
seek this one out. What is it called?
Gekikara Mania.
Gekikara Mania.
Yeah, and
Okay.
this is the miso flavor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that evil skull there. Okay, they're not messing around. If you find this in your Asian grocery store, get it. If you're here in Japan, find it. You'll probably find this at 7-Eleven or wherever fine
Yeah, it might
products
be
are
limited
sold.
time, but
I'm gonna buy a couple extra bags of these to gift out. Nicholas Villeput, they have those at 7-Eleven. I'm surprised Japanese spicy stuff is usually pretty mild. I would say that generally speaking, spicy stuff that you find in the like regular grocery store is going to be pretty mild.
yeah. But when it has a warning, like serious warnings, then it's usually like it just like anything. Japan does like things pretty like deep.
Yeah, they go with it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I feel good now. Like the spice went away.
Have a drink.
But no, it really caught me there for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can handle this, but not like an entire bag, and I would probably regret it if I ate, even half a bag.
The spiciest thing I had in Japan was at a Thai restaurant. Remember? We went to this Thai restaurant, a very like...
That was just like abuse.
Yo, Risa's friend was like, oh no, this Thai restaurant's like
Really
highly
bad,
rated. And Risa's friend, she's like the restaurant queen. She knows where all the good stuff is. She's like, oh come, so we came, and she's like, it's really spicy here. And I'm like, okay. Like I
But
know,
it actually really looked like Thai, like authentic
it was
Thai
it was
restaurant.
as Thai as you can get in there.
Yeah. So like and I know that she also like likes spicy things. She's not like, you know, oh, I can't handle spice.
Yeah.
So she was like last time like I was just sweating and like almost like throwing up from like just
the heat.
Like so much. And so like we ordered like with less spice, like you know,
tone it down a bit.
Yeah. And then I
couldn't finish.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was torture. Like I would eat because I have to put food in my body because I was hungry.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is
whatever I got was like so spicy.
It was a job to eat that food.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get through it. I'm like, you know what? Why am I torturing myself?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's good without like this much spice.
Yeah.
So just don't. I don't know.
It was brutal. But these'll do it. So hopefully, if you like spicy food or you want to test your strength, test your might, find them. Okay. Or run away, as Rice W5 writes. Or if you see it in a store, run. There you go. So yeah, the real deal. I thought that the boys were maybe taking it a little bit like, you know, they're not so used to the spice. Mm. But no, they were. That was an honest
review.
Yeah,
it was real.
It was real deal.
Yeah.
So that's what you get here on the Naked Famous Denim live stream. Realness. So there you go. We'll leave it there, everybody. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun, this live stream especially. We'll see you guys again for the Naked and Famous Denim live stream next Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. But if you want to learn more about Wonder Looper and what's going on with Wonder Looper stuff, Risa and I are doing a live stream tomorrow on the Wonder Looper YouTube channel at 8 p.m. Eastern. So Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can join us there. And we're going to be talking about knitwear, including all the new releases and new stuff that we've got coming out. So with all that said, have a lovely weekend. Do something nice for yourself and do something nice for somebody else. And hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And we'll see you guys in the next video next week. Oh, and one last reminder. In the comment section, let us know the wrongest way to store your jeans, and the funniest one will be picked next week. We'll highlight you. That's the prize, the highlight. So there you go. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one, everyone.
Okay, everyone.
Bye-bye.